Warning: the information on this channel is very difficult for many people to fathom and understand and overstand. Come here with a logical mind, sound reasoning, and very little to almost no emotion to become more able to retain the information that comes off of these videos. Content may be disturbing for viewers. Viewer discretion is advised.
Revolution sound, call it the second emancipation. Break these chains and let me out. It's not violence, I'm on a bump, but riot will still hit the ground. Lower that gun, put down the whip, take a step back, hear me out. I am fanatic, employ guerrilla tactics. Open up this lyrical automatic, and put holes in your rhetoric. It's archaic, kind of chaotic, almost barbaric, but yet you stand and you swear by it. And I've been readily, steadily waiting for a chance to reset. The devil is a liar, top of the empire. Blood, sweat, tears, and desire. I put my heart into this. Never forget I'm a soldier. I will not be conquered. I can't walk this road forever, and I can't forget the past. My soul is under pressure, and it's killing me. It's destroying me within. My need for emancipation. My soul is under pressure, and it's killing me. Pursuit of happiness, equality, and justice for all. Now you know you lying. You want that shotgun philosophy, celebrate the tragedy, build an effigy out to the heavens to remind me and blind me. Turn the whole world into my enemy, control my destiny and drain all my energy. It's insane to me. Got the whole nation sedated and medicated, and testimony to the violence. Yet you still give me that ghetto education, basically priming me to victim to the present industry. I see all of you cowards, the greed, the need to want control over me. Break these chains and the power. I'd rather you get back what you stole from me. I can't walk this road forever, and I can't forget the past. My soul is under pressure, and it's killing me. It's destroying me within. My need for emancipation. My soul is under pressure, and it's killing me. Excuse me, Mr. Officer, come out on me sector. No need to stress ya, no need for vex ya. Hey. Yo, excuse me, your honor, fuck the drama. No apologies, I saved that for my mama. Take my name off of the docket, drop all these charges. All it took was a spark, all it took was a catalyst. Martin said it best, I live a life with no violence. So I speak up, no longer silent. I begin to see my third eye is opening, and my resolve is strengthening. I yearn to be free, victim to the present industry. I see all of you cowards, the greed, the need to want control over me. Break these chains and the power. I'd rather you get back what you stole from me. I can't walk this road forever, and I can't forget the past. My soul is under pressure, and it's killing me. It's destroying me within. My need for emancipation. My soul is under pressure, and it's killing me. Excuse me, Mr. Officer, come out on me sector. No need to stress ya, no need for vex ya. Hey. Yo, excuse me, your honor, fuck the drama. No apologies, I saved that for my mama. Take my name off of the docket, drop all these charges. All it took was a spark, all it took was a catalyst. Martin said it best, I live a life with no violence. So I speak up, no longer silent. I begin to see my third eye is opening.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. How you guys doing tonight? Well, the morning rather. It's dark out, but it's still morning. So how you guys doing this nice Saturday? Hope you guys are doing all right. Yeah, so we're talking about this topic here today. I want to discuss this topic with you guys, and hopefully I can take you guys along for the ride. It'll be a long video. I have a lot to say on the matter, on the subject matter at hand, and we're talking about a different species today. And more than likely a species that you're not familiar with. They are called the Andromedans. The Andromedans. And these beings come from a star or a planet called Andromeda. And there's a lot of information that's not known about these beings. And some people may have the information. The majority of the people on the planet definitely don't. And these beings have played a very pivotal role on our society and our world around us, and a lot of the things that has happened on our planet. And there is many things that are not known about these particular beings. The Andromedans are very intelligent beings. The Andromedans have done a lot on the planet to where they would be able to put their feet first and best planted on the ground, if you will. Meaning that these particular beings have had a foothold in the destiny of humanity and the other species, which is referred to as your so-called black people on the planet Earth. We're going to talk about this. We're going to definitely talk about this. Just give me one sec. So, yeah, the Andromedans. First, let's talk about what they're like and what their physicality is like and where they come from and stuff like this. They come from the Andromeda galaxy, and they come from a planet called Andromeda, yeah. And they refer to themselves as Andromedans, as you well know. Their skin is very much like what you refer to as almost like porcelain in a way. Their skin is very porcelain. They're very tall beings. They're very tall. They're very tall physically. Much taller than your regular humans. Some of them are regular human height as well. The mass majority of them on the Andromeda, on the planet, a lot of them, the majority of them are female. Also, you have a game I believe called Mass Effect where they actually show the planet Andromeda, and this is a lot like what it looks like. It has water on their planet as well. There is water on their planet, but in the game Mass Effect, they showed a planet that looks very similar to what their planet looks like. But their planet also looks a little bit different than this as well. But this is a close representation to what their planet looks like. And on their planet, they have a very advanced planet. Their planet is very advanced with technology. They're very intelligent beings. And they, like I said, they have played a very influential role in currently in our time frame right now. In fact, I'm going to tell you some things about that, and also what they want, what their objectives are, and some of the things that they've done. See, also, not only are they very tall, they have a lanky like structure to them, and their eyes are much larger. The majority of them, their eyes are larger than regular human eyes. And you know, as you can see, their women are very beautiful. The majority of the Andromedans, like I said, they're female. You have some males, and the high ruling Andromedans, for the most part, are all female. And the thing is, a lot of people don't realize this, that all those female rulers, they do pay homage to a male Andromedan, which is actually the one that's in this picture right here. He's the male Andromedan that's the high ruler that's over there. And a lot of people don't realize that the Andromedan females that are the head of the planet, there is one level above them that is a man, and a lot of people don't know this, and this is how the Andromedan women tricked some of the women that were on our planet here that wanted power, like your Hillary Clinton and some of these other ones, you know, that were losing power around the time when well, as you see, we had an election just recently. Yeah, that election right there that just happened, the presidential election that just happened, where they were saying that something was rigged and that there was some kind of like hacking or some kind of glitch that happened. That was these beings. I'm going to explain the story of what happened. I'm going to go and do this now. And also, before we get into that, some of the Andromedan women, from what I understand, are starting to actually grow fur, or what we refer to as hair today, on their heads. And the reason why is because they're intermixing with other species, like maybe humans or some other types of species out there. And not only that, but most of them, they're all bald for the most part. They're all like as you see the male, his head is, you know, he doesn't grow any hair on his head, but you know, a lot of the women do wear wigs on their heads because, you know, they're female. You know, it's just how females do. You know, they want to differentiate. You know, I'm a female. You know, but a lot of what I have been hearing is that some of the women have found a way to grow hair on their heads. So for all we know, this is really her hair on her head. Okay, so, and you know, the Andromedans, they had a hand in the current presidential election that happened with Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. They allowed him to win. Yes, ladies and gentlemen, they allowed Donald Trump to win, and there is a reason why, and I'm going to tell you. See, the Draconian reptilians that we've just spoken about. See, the Draconian reptilians were losing power on this planet, as you well know. They were losing a lot of freaking power. Okay? Just a certain things that was taking place on the planet, and with Nibiru coming back and all this, their power was getting cut short. There was a lot of deals that didn't go through as planned because certain things on the planet got botched up. Certain entities came on the planet and messed up their plans, like the Anunnaki, and some other situations that took place. The Anunnaki were blocking certain things that they couldn't get to, like the oil on the planet and certain things like that. Yes, there are articles on this. That's real. That's actually real. And they were fighting each other interstellarly, and fighting each other on the planet in the fourth dimension. And a lot of deals didn't go through, and the Draco reptilians were like, damn, we can't even do what the hell we want no more. You know, we're losing power. And eventually, you know, the Draconian reptilians, because of what was going on, I don't think I can discuss what was really going on, but I'll put it in short like this. A lot of the because you see, there's okay, let me just put it like this. Okay, you see the Rothschilds, the Rockefellers, your B'nai Brit, your Wahlbergs, your Rosicrucians, your Rockefellers, your B'nai Brit, and all these other ones. You know, your ruling families, your so-called elites, they were losing power because, you see, there was a lot of things going on with different kinds of people that are on the planet Earth that wanted to go against your so-called Illuminati or whatever, and they were going against them, and there was a lot of things happening on the planet in secret, and the Pentagon knows all about this. You see, these ruling families were losing a lot of power against their other family members that are lesser known, that are not that do have a lot of money, power, and influence, and these families, these side families that are not about the whole control and New World Order agenda. They do have some family members that are not about all that. They do have some family members that are not necessarily about the destruction of humanity, killing off 90% of the human population and all this. They do have family members that don't involve themselves like that. Even the Rockefellers, they have family members that are not about that. They just want to live normal human lives. And these families were gaining power. They were gaining a lot of influence and power because they don't approve of what their other family members are doing, and they were doing things under the table in the dark. And because the Draconians were losing power, and there were certain trade agreements that were supposed to take place, it didn't take place. The power that they were gaining from these beings through rituals and all kinds of demonic, you call it demonic rituals and blood sacrifice rituals and all kinds of stuff that was going on. It wasn't working for them anymore. You see, because the elites, they have to do certain things in rituals and blood sacrifice rituals and all kinds of stuff to gain power to rule on the planet Earth. And these rituals and stuff like that weren't working for them as well as it used to. So they were losing their grip on the planet Earth. We call Tiamat today. So a lot of the women, that are part of these families, a lot of them got pissed off because they were so used to living the way that they were living and having all the power and influence that they were having. And they are responsible for your feminist movements that are out here. They are responsible for a lot of your Me Too movements and all the stuff that's out here. And, a lot of these women, they wanted power, so they were trying to get in contact with other beings to see if they could gain any kind of power and control. And they eventually, wanted to get in contact with other beings on Andromeda and stuff like this. And these Andromedans, they have their own objective, their own agenda and stuff like this. So, because of this now, a lot of these women, they wanted to gain power from the Andromedans through doing whatever kind of rituals and stuff like this that the Andromedans had them do. And the Andromedans put them under some type of tests to see if they were worthy enough to give them that kind of power to be able to rule over the planet. And they weren't going to just give them that kind of power for free. See, these women were taking these tests, and they did fail these tests. They did fail these tests because they were putting them through multiple tests. They eventually did fail these tests. The Andromedans still, for some reason, gave them this power that they wanted to be able to control the world around us, And these women got drunk off of this power. They got real drunk off of this power. And they wanted to bump off with this power that they had to manipulate and control and do whatever they want to do. They wanted to bump off a lot of the male male monarchs, or what you call patriarchy today. They wanted to bump it off and get a lot of these people, like your sheik, your grand sheik, like that guy over there that's got all that money. They wanted to get rid of all male rulership on the planet Earth. They wanted to be about that matriarchal energy, not that mama, mama in control. They didn't want papa's energy to be in control. They don't want that kind of energy. They don't want the male energy to be in control. They want the female energy to be in control. And the Andromedan women, they tested these women. And they realized that these women, they had the desire to do malicious intent and try to put themselves on the world stage and put themselves in power and try to control the planet and do whatever it is they want to do. This is why for the very first time you saw a woman trying to go up there to become president. Okay, this stuff, like I'm telling you, this stuff is pre-written this stuff is pre-written in what they're going to do and stuff like this. These higher entities know about what's going to happen before it happens. And because of the power that these women were getting, you saw Hillary Clinton was winning in the election. She was winning. And with the power that the Andromedans had, they rigged the election. They rigged the election. They did. They rigged it and allowed the man to win just to spite them, just to piss them off. Just to let them know, yo, listen, we're the higher power here. You're not going to manipulate us. We know what you want to do. Okay? All right? We're the ones that are in control here. We're going to do whatever the hell we want to do. That's what the Andromedans let them know, and they were really mad and pissed off about that. You know, you had a lot of women acting up around this time. See, the Andromedan women are warrior class like women. On their planet, they enslaved the insectilian race. Well, some of the insectilians, they did fight them, and they did beat the insectoids, and the insectoids, they fled and they ran away. And the Andromedan women, a lot of them, you know, they're warrior like females, and they have a good grasp on masculine energy to a certain extent, and they were able to fight off the insectoids. And some of the insectoids stayed on the planet and started working for them. This is why on Andromeda you will see that there's insectoids that look a lot like ants, and they're very muscular, and you know, they wear like a vest, and they wear like some like you know, like they're real tall looking. You know, they have a really huge head shape. They have antennas and stuff like that, really huge eyes and whatnot. Yeah, the insectoids, the humanoid insectoids, do work for the Andromedans. Well, the ones that stayed on the planet. The ones that didn't stay on the planet, well, they're doing what they want to do. Okay? See, there's always someone higher up on the food chain, guys. See, I'm telling you, the Andromedans control a lot of the ants and some of the other insects that are on Andromeda. And you also have Andromedans in the star of Pleiades, and on planet Era as well, where the Pleiadians stay at. Yeah, just so you know, And the Andromedan women, they're very manipulative. I wouldn't go so far as to say is evil, but they do have their own way of thinking. And the Andromedan women, they do like to they are sexual beings. They do like to try to manipulate a man. They do enjoy trying to entice a man's sexual urge to want to manipulate that man into doing what they want him to do. They do love men, but at the same time, you know, if you're not a man of their species, they may want to use you for whatever they want. Like if they feel that they could benefit off of partnering up with you, they will. You know what I'm saying? And they have put other humans on this planet through certain trials and tribulations to test them and to see if they're worthy enough to work alongside them. The Andromedans are very power hungry. They do want control over this planet, but in a different way than the Draconians. See, the Andromedans hate Draconians. They do. They do very much. Okay? Even the males, the men that are on the planet and on Andromeda, even they dislike Draconians. They really don't like how Draconians go about doing things on the planet. And they very much want to get rid of Draconians. Especially the Psi, the Zeta, and the Kepler. You know, the real evil lower ones that are vampiric and parasitic. They hate Draconians. They just do. And they don't want to deal with Draconians at all. Because you see these women that went over there to ask the Andromedan women for power. They are they're part Draconian hybrids that have human DNA or rhesus monkey DNA with Draconian DNA, and the Andromedan women, they look down on these women that are in control and stuff like that. They look down on them that are part of these ruling families. They're like, these women are part of the Draconian bloodline. Like they really think we're going to try to help them? Alright, we're going to try to give them some power, then we're going to screw them over at the end just to make fun of them. That's what they did. You know, they screwed them over, and they were, you know, that's why it looked like Hillary was going to win, right? And then that was them. That was their women that did that. And their women do pay homage to a male figure. They do. And, you know, when the male heard about what was going on the planet Earth, he was like, okay, you know what we're going to do? We're going to try to find a way to have some of the humans on the planet give us enough information about the planet and how their planet, where the ley lines on the planet are, where all the power centers on the planet are. How is their planet structured and all this, so we can take control. See, the Andromedans, this species, they they want to have power all over the galaxy to be able to monitor and watch what all other beings are doing. They are very power hungry indeed, but they don't want to take control and make you their slave. Do you understand what I'm saying? That's not what they want necessarily. They want to be able to monitor everything in the universe and all galaxies, to be able to watch what is going on with other beings. Therefore, if other beings are getting out of line or they're doing something that is considered to be going against the guidelines and rules or laws that the Andromedans have set out, therefore they will be pretty much executed or eliminated. And because they know the Draconians can't fucking, they cannot control themselves to stay peaceful. They gotta go out and conquer and destroy. They're going to use this technology and implement it. They're going to use this technology to go after the Draconians and eliminate them. See, they use bugs. They use all kinds of technology. When the Andromedans try to abduct somebody, they try to put bugs, all kinds of metal platelets and metal rods and all kinds of technology inside your body to where they can track you no matter where you are on the planet. You can't really get away because it's inside your physical body. You got to get it out, and it's going to be difficult because you're not going to know you have it in you, so that's something to look out for. They are some of the ones that do like putting bugs in you and stuff like that to monitor you. And when Andromedans, when they abduct you and stuff like this, they're going to put you through a series of simulations and stuff like that that's going to scare you. Their insects are going to try to intimidate you and shit like this. To try to scare you, they're going to put you into a simulation, and they're going to tell you, if you don't accept this test that we're going to put you through, you are going to die. Yeah, man, they are very forceful in that way. They can be assholes in that way. Excuse my language. But some Andromedans can be very pushy and can be, a bunch of fucking assholes when they want to be. When they're in that mode of like trying to get their objective done, they'll push all emotion to the side to do whatever it is they got to do. They're very much, power hungry. Okay, and they're not all bad. There's good ones among them. There's a lot of their women can be very sweet. And some of their women have fallen in love with some of the men on our planet. Yeah. They've abducted some of the Anunnaki species that are here on our planet. Yes, some of the Anunnaki, some of our men from our species have mated with their women. So they probably did have offspring. So it's like half Anunnaki, half Andromedan species. I'm sure that's actually out there now. Insane, right? I know it's crazy, right? Yeah, I know. Well, as you can see, they had this man win, and then look at what's happening on the planet, You know what I'm saying? The reason why they allowed this to happen is because of the fact that the Andromedans do very much want balance in the universe. They do. They do very much want balance. They're not evil like the Draconians, but they do have their ways. They do have their ways. Their planet is very beautiful. As you can see, they are beings that are aesthetically they're built for combat. They are very much built for combat. They are telepathic. They do have psychic abilities. I would argue that their planet is 90% female and about 10% male. I would argue that. They do get along with some of the Palladians from planet Era and Pallades. They do get along with some of those beings over there because they have trade agreements and stuff like this. You give me this for this, you give me that for this. the Andromedans also, you know, some of them, if they feel that if if they had an objective with you and they feel that you have outlived your usefulness, some of them might send a hit out to get rid of you and kill you. Like I said, they're not evil, but they do have their ways, and not all of them will do that, but some of them will. Okay, some of them will, and that can be perceived as, like backstabbing type of like, like that can be perceived in that way. They don't do that to everybody, but if they feel like they don't no longer have more, they no longer have use for you, and they feel that you're disposable for whatever reason, they're talking amongst each other, they may send out a hit on you. Yeah. And I know it's insane, but there's some of the things that have happened with these species. They're not all bad. Some of them are on our side as well, but they're very much on their own side. They play like Switzerland in a way. They don't want to get involved in the affairs of other people's fights unless it benefits them. They want to monitor everybody that's fighting around them, so that way they can have one up on everybody around them. And that this is some of the things that they do. Another thing with their crafts, you're gonna notice a lot of their spaceships are very circular. They have circular like spaceships. Some of them are like flat, and I do believe they do have triangular spaceships as well. But I have noticed that, according to the information that I have on them and from what I've seen, they do have sphere like spaceships. Andromedans, they're very good at giving out a sales pitch and making things sound real good in the beginning. You get involved in it, and there's always a catch. They're very smart like that. They know how to get you. They know how to make you want to sign a contract with your name on it. And then anytime you want to get out of the contract, they got you by the balls, if you know what I mean. Like it's just part of the way they function, because they've learned that, because they've dealt with so many evil beings in the past, to where they've learned to have very thick skin. You know what I'm saying? Their women are very much emotional, but they've learned over the years to try to like, numb that emotional side of them, to try to be warriors and stuff like this. But at the same time, because they have numbed themselves out over the years with fighting other beings, this has left some of their women impaired in a way where they yet have not dove in within themselves to be able to fix that part of themselves that has been numbed down for so long. It's just like a human being. If you're in a situation where you're trying to survive, certain things you're going to have to sacrifice within your own mentality to try to get shit done so you can survive. They've been in these kinds of situations, and this is part of the reason why they act the way they act. They're very much for self, but they're not evil though, because they have helped out the Anunnaki. They have helped out other beings, and yeah. One other thing, as Andromedans, the Andromedans, their goal. Let me tell you what their goal is. Their goal is to wipe out all of the malicious species that are running around trying to control other species. They want to find a way to get rid of all the species that are like parasites, that want to live off of other species and other planets, that want to kill and destroy. So pretty much all your Archons, your Zetas, they very much dislike humans. Andromedans really don't like humans for the most part. Some can tolerate humans to some extent, but for the most part, they don't like humans because of the way humans behave. Now, like I said, so-called black people are not human, they're Anunnaki. So and they know that. So, but you know, some of them can tolerate humans. It just depends on the situation. And I believe a lot of Andromedans have also mixed in with the Palladians, and this is where they're gaining this structure for hair on their heads and stuff like this, as you can see. Because in the past, the Andromedan women used to wear wigs and stuff like this. The Andromedans have psychic abilities. They can do things that would actually surprise you. They are formidable warrior type beings. The Andromedans, when they put you in a simulation, they be interrogating you, and you know, of course, they're gonna play the good cop, bad cop routine, you know, and because the insects work for them, what the Andromedans don't realize is that some of these insects that are working for them are more than likely in contact in some type of way, are in contact with some of the other insectoids that are on our planet Earth, and they're doing like commerce or some type of like trade. They have like some type of trade agreement with one another on the planet. See, because you see on the planet Earth, there's many different portals and dimensions on the planet Earth, and they be doing like trade amongst each other for like different types of parts for ships and stuff like this. You know, they all want the best parts, you know, for the cheapest price, obviously. So, you know, they be doing trade agreements with each other and stuff like that. But the insectoids, for the most part, that are on Andromeda are loyal to the Andromedans, because the Andromedans beat them, and then they had them stay there for such a long time that they got used to each other's company, I guess. You know, things happen. As well as the fact that Andromedans, their eyes, right? Their pupils are a lot bigger than ours. Their pupils are bigger than ours. When for whatever reason, I do think that they can see in the dark. I really do believe this. Yes, they can. And they wear very tight-fitted clothing, like skin-tight fitted clothing. Because their skin is very like porcelain. I do believe that they can't take that much sunlight, but I do believe that they can take more sunlight than Palladians can. I do believe that. I have my own reasons, but I do believe that that porcelain skin that they have is very much different than what Palladians have. Because Palladians, I know they can't take sunlight like that, but Andromedans, I do believe, can take far more sunlight than they can, for whatever reason, although they are porcelain themselves. Their genetic structure, Palladians, their organs function different than ours. Like, they have certain organs in their bodies that we definitely don't have. You know, and their heads, you see their head shape, like, you know, on the side of their head, you know, where your temple, on the side of your head, it's like concaved within, like it's a certain shape they have to their heads. They're all like that, and what they're wearing on their heads in this picture, that is a sign of royalty. That is a sign of royalty amongst their people. And you know, as for all these people that's coming out here talking about the Galactic Federation and all that, that's some light worker bullshit. Okay, the Galactic Federation, that shit does not exist. It's a trap for you unsuspecting people that want to deal with you know, this information that's gonna get you guys screwed over. Okay, you know. They want you to basically to give up your life force and stuff like this, and do blood over intent and stuff like this, and that ain't good. Okay, you know, the Andromedans don't have anything to do with that for the most part. They don't have nothing to do with that at all. And also, some of these bugs and technology, if they put these bugs into your body, some of these bugs can, from a very far distance, allow these beings to be able to remotely, from a very far distance, to be able to control some of your actions. The more bugs they put into you, the more likely you'll be far more susceptible to control. The Draconian reptilians, for many years now, have been doing, have been trying to do trade agreements and trying to do agreements with the Andromedans to have power over the planet Tiamat here. And the Andromedans trick them at every turn through the agreements. And the Draconians, they wanted revenge against the Andromedans, but they're not stupid enough to go against the Andromedans, like just out of the woodwork. They'd have to plan that out. Because the Andromedans, in my opinion, the Andromedans, let me see, the Andromedans, their intellect rivals the reptilians. Their intellect rivals them. If not, they actually might be much smarter. In fact, from what I've seen. So the reptilians are not stupid enough to just go ahead and fight the Andromedans. Right away like that. Now, if an Andromedan and a reptilian actually got into it on a physical scale and they fought each other, I would say that the reptilian definitely has the advantage in strength-wise, agility, and power. They're definitely a lot stronger. But because an Andromedan is psychic in the way that they are, that would probably give them the edge. That would probably give them the edge. So, it differs. The Andromedan women have actually, from what I understand, they have been on this planet before, and believe it or not, the Andromedans are actually native to this planet. They were here a long time ago on this planet, and yes, they have mated with some of the inhabitants on this planet. They have done that before. Yeah. So for all you know, you may have an Andromedan, partial Andromedan hybrid living on the planet here today with us. Just like if you go to Russia, a lot of those people are your tall whites, and the tall whites deal with the Palladians, and in the Pleiades star constellation over there where they stay at. The tall whites, and the tall whites, they don't have no good intention with so-called black people. For the most part, they don't have no good intention with them, and the Andromedans know this. And that's why the Andromedans want to be able to monitor everything that's going on out here. So when something happens, they can see what's happening, who started it, who needs to pay for it, and all this. They are very much power hungry, and because of their power hungry nature, a lot of the beings that they have abducted don't want anything to do with them after they run into them, because they feel like if they keep dealing with them, they're going to get themselves more deeper into the rabbit hole. And Andromedans, because of their very slick and intellectual nature, they're very they're very witty. They're very smart, and they know how to get information out of you. They know how to get information out of you. And sometimes they'll send some of their women. See, Andromedan women, they're very crafty. See, because they know that they're beautiful, they'll send, like, if they abduct you, and you're a man, they like to abduct men more because that men are easier to seduce than other women, obviously. Because they will seduce a man. They'll send some of their women to seduce a man to get information out of him. See, because they've learned that when men are being seduced, when men are being seduced, a man is more likely to open up a lot more in that momentary time period while being seduced than rather just be sent an assistant to just help him out with whatever the objective is that they're doing. So that's how that works. They also have certain types of technology on their planet that allows them to be able to absorb sunlight from the sun into their planet. I'm serious. They have this kind of technology. I don't know who gave it to them. I'm guessing it was the Anunnaki that gave it to them, but they have certain types of very advanced technology on their planet to where their planet can literally, it's almost like the Death Star from Star Wars in a way, where their planet almost damn near has a mind of its own. But I'm sure they're controlling the planet, but at the same time, it's a little different. Their water on their planet is different than the water on our planet. Well, to some extent, it's definitely different. They do have different types of animals and creatures on their planet that we don't have here. And you do have some of the animals that are here over there because they took some of the animals that were here on our planet to their planet. Yeah, and they found a way to make those animals coexist there. I don't know. It's just something that they did. And their skies look different. They have different moons, different so-called suns or whatever on their planet that help them out with whatever it is that they need. They do not have a high power energy sun on their planet, but theirs is definitely stronger than the sun that's on planet Tamriel. Their sun is stronger than that sun because that's a very, very low energy sun. You know, that's for like people that are made out of sulfur or something like that. These beings are not made out of sulfur. These beings are made out of, well, metals, certain types of celestial metals and stuff like that. But they're definitely not like carbon. You know, they're definitely not composed of carbon. Not that I know of. They could be, and I wouldn't even know. Although the Archons have come to the Andromedans and have asked them to join up with them, every single time they get an offer, the Andromedans turn it down. So the Archons and the Reptilians already know that the Andromedans are definitely not on their side. And it is my belief that when this war that's supposed to take place actually happens, the Andromedans will make a surprise. Well, they will make a surprise entrance into coming into the war to try to help. I do believe that because their interests and the interests of the Anunnaki, well, for the most part, go hand in hand. For the most part, hey, you know, they have their ways or whatever, but like I said, they're not evil. They're not parasites. You know, they're not trying to live off of you. They're not. No, that's not the case. So, because they are the way that they are, you know, and the Anunnaki and them seem to get along for the most part, they more than likely will be showing up on the planet Earth here to solve the situation with this screwed up government, the Archons, what's got to take place, and you know the eventual the demise or destruction of this screwed up system that we're living in. So for those that may not know, now you know. These beings will more than likely show up around that time. So don't be surprised if you see them. You know what I'm saying? Now you will be surprised because some of them do have psychic abilities. They can do certain things. They can. Yeah. You know. Oh, why you saying why they coming here and all this? Why you saying all that? See, the Andromedans saw what happened on this planet. They know all about it. Like I said, they cannot stand parasitical entities. Your humans that are here on the planet that came and attacked and did what they did, your orcs, they see you very much like how they see a Draconian for the most part. The Andromedans do not like you. They don't. I'm trying to tell you right now before you see one and looking straight at you, looking at you all pissed off and you don't know why. They saw what y'all did. A lot of beings in the universe know what happened on this planet to make black people dysfunctional. They know. They seen what happened. And that's why they come in to help. Like your Lyrans and all these other ones that's coming. See, let me explain this. In 2008, right? The Anunnaki, which are the ones that are the guardians of this planet Earth, they wanted to see. They were talking amongst each other, their councils and stuff like this, and they saw that they wanted to shift over the power of the planet Earth, the controller and rulership over the Earth, from the reptilians. You see, the Draconian reptilians are originally from Sirius. We've spoken about this originally. They were going to shift the power over to a specific type of reptilian Draconian that is like a mammalian type. It's like it's a little bit different than the regular Draconian reptilian that's like a parasite. the so-called mammalian type, or the type that's like, I don't know if like more amphibious is the correct terminology. This type of reptilian is not like a parasite. It's not super aggressive. The information that they have is different. The information that they can give to the humans that are the elites that are in control or in rulership is not going to be the type of information that they can use to be able to have a very powerful grip on society in the world around us. Okay? All right? And they wanted to give that control and rulership to that particular breed of reptilian. Okay? Because they saw all the stuff that was going on, and they wanted to change up how the society on the planet Earth was being ruled over. They wanted to change that up. So basically, basically the mind control that the elites are using on the mass population, on our society and the whole world around us, was going to get weak. That mind control was eventually going to get dumbed down, and people were going to be able to wake up even faster. See that? Because see, we're hitting around that time when the humans are supposed to, become more awakened. This is why we're on season 2 of Sirius in the Temple, called The Awakening, as you can see, when all that music is playing and all that. See, the 24 wise elders that are like your archangels and stuff like that, that are in inner earth, they have a council down there in inner earth, and you have all kinds of beings that are part of this council. You have dwarfs, fairies, some reptilian types, and other kind of beings that are in inner earth. Your Shiyu, your Giros, your Taros, your Dinakiel, and your Dinwanis. I believe they're called Dinwanis, and all these other ones that are down there. And they voted amongst each other, including the 24 wise elders, these archangels. They voted amongst each other that they wanted to give the control of the planet Earth over, because you see it was transitional. They wanted to give it to the mammalian type, and then while the power of the elites is dwindling and all these problems that they're happening, and the female, like the women that are in control as well, like your Hillary Clintons and your the ones that you're seeing, Kamala Harris, and all these other ones that are some kind of influential power and structural control up there. They're going to go crazy and want to get some type of power because they see the Draconians are losing their power. So when the 24 wise elders in inner earth decided that they wanted to give the power of the planet Earth and control over the humans over to the Andromedans, because that's what really happened. These women that are part Draconian, as you can see, you see those pictures of them shape-shifting on the news and all that, their eyes are changing and stuff like that. It's obvious, Queen Elizabeth and all these other people, they're controlled by insectoids and reptilians and stuff like this. So the Andromedans are the ones that are in control right now, for the most part. I mean, they're the ones that allowed Donald Trump to win, in case you didn't know. Well, we spoke about that earlier, as you can see. So like I said, so let me re-say this again. See, because it's from 2008 to all the way to 2016, the ruling families, your so-called elite, they were losing power. So because they were losing power and they found out that the Andromedans are the ones that are in control, they ran to them for power, and the Andromedans promised them that they would help them gain control or rulership over the planet Earth. But the Andromedans were playing around and tricking their ass the whole time, and were setting them up to fail. You understand that? The Andromedans were setting them up to fail, and they allowed Donald Trump to be president. Yeah. Oh yeah. You could thank them for that. You understand? And this is why you see places like China and Russia are gaining power, and America's losing power. That was structured. That was all strategically implemented. That was all supposed to happen. Okay, they did all that. And because these are your 24 wise elders, these are your Anunnaki or your Anunnaki, which means they elected the Andromedans to be in control, which ultimately means the Andromedans are working with the Anunnaki. Understand? Good. Why did they trick them? Why did they trick them? It's because these people, these Illuminati, these people, they are just a bunch of fused humanoid ex-reptilian type people that want to take control over the planet and destroy everything. The Andromedans are disgusted by them and do not want anything to do with these kind of evil ass people. The Andromedans don't want anything to do with them, period. They're very much against them. For the most part, the deal that the Andromedans had with these ex-reptilian type Illuminati motherfuckers, they wanted to be able to harvest the technology off of the face of the earth and all the hidden technology that the Illuminati is hiding, like the Vimana technology that Hitler was chasing after, and all these other ancient types of technology that the Anunnaki had here. They wanted that technology for themselves, also with humans that they can abduct and do experimentations on and all kinds of stuff. They wanted all kinds of stuff for themselves. Basically, they made a deal with the Illuminati. And the Illuminati, well, for the most part, the females that are in control with the Illuminati, for the most part, the Illuminati did want power, but the individuals who were chasing after this power the more dominant ones was the females that were part of these ruling families, and they got tricked and they got duped, as you can see. The Andromedans also promised them, because they were tricking them, they promised them that they would try to get male patriarchy out of the way, so that, the females could rule on the planet, because that's part of the reason why they lost power with the Draconians in the first place, because of the patriarchy that was going on and whatnot, and the male presence being in control. So these females wanted the control. And the Andromedans, they gave them this false sense of power, and then they got drunk. These women, these ex-reptilian type women, these women that, why ex-reptilian types? Because the reptilians are not giving them power no more, and they're still part Draconian, so they're ex-reptilian types that were dealing with the Draconian order and how things were working. These women got drunk off of the power that they were given, and they decided that they wanted to get rid of the male species on the planet altogether. This is why the feminist movement is so out of control right now. The Me Too movement is just hate towards men. They wanted to eliminate the male species, the X and Y chromosome species, off of the face of the earth. Period. And they wanted to kill off all the men that had legal rights, who were heirs to certain estates on the planet Earth. They wanted to kill those men off too, and bump them off and all this, and just let women be in control on the planet. And they were so power hungry that they would even enslave some of the women if some of the women recognized what was going on. This is what they wanted to do. And the Andromedans were like in secret, in the dark, looking at what they were trying to do, what they were trying to implement, and they screwed them over with Donald Trump. This is why I was saying what I was saying earlier, man. You guys wasn't understanding me. And when did this really start? When it's when Nelson Mandela is when he died. You see that guy called Nelson Mandela? When he died, around that time is when they wanted to start trying to get rid of male presence, period. And I believe they did implement their power to kill the man or whatnot. And they didn't make it into a mystical order because they failed their initiation. These women have been in a lot of control with reptilians since the 1950s. These are really old women that want power. They're extremely power hungry. And what they failed to understand is that the Andromedan women, they saw those women that are sovereign and have all this power, because the Andromedan women, the society is practically ruled by women for the most part. But then there's that head male that's at the tippy top of the pyramid, and he's really the one behind the scenes in the dark that's really in control. And they didn't know that, so they pretty much got screwed over right there, and they didn't even see it coming. As you well now know. So essentially, these ex-reptilian type women, like your Hillary Clintons and all these other ones, they wanted to go to war with the masculine oversoul. See, there are certain things that us as beings on the planet, there's certain things that you get from the mother, and there's certain things that you get from the father. They wanted to attack the father side, the masculatoid side. See, these human bodies that we have are very much feminine in energetic principle, how they were created, because Mother Ninti, which is the Anunnaki called Ninti, she's the one who created these human bodies for us to have. She put her blood into the creation and everything. This is why we have the physical human meat sacks or meat flesh bodies that we have today. It's because of the Anunnaki called Ninti. Yes, she is a giant being. Yes, and Enki tried to help her out with the experiment. You know, he was trying to help her out as well, because, you know, there's like scientists. But the masculine part of our being is like our higher self. You even got people like Remedy H that even told you all this. The higher self is like the masculine part. When the feminine and masculine part meet together, it becomes the all supreme entity, because now you have them. Because when two beings are having intercourse, male and female, there's an extremely powerful, I don't know what to say, primordial energy that comes out of that interaction between the two sexes, because they're coming together to become one flesh, to create a new type of being that would have both parts, male and female. So that's why I'm saying they wanted to attack the male part. See, women give different things to the children that are very valuable. But when we talk about the male aspect, it's like your knowledge of your oversoul and stuff like that. You know, because estates are given, a lot of it, for the majority of the time, the estates are, even ask Anu in Sirius, when you see him, when you die one day, or when you go over there, he'll tell you the estates are given from man to son, father to son, king to prince. The kings give the prince their estate after what it's been happening since freaking forever. You didn't see an ancient Kemet? Because patriarchy is in control right now. It's supposed to be in control right now because of what happened in the beginning of this planet, when the original queens were here and they ended up screwing up by accident. It doesn't mean that matriarchy is not coming back. It will, because patriarchy and matriarchy are supposed to be working together hand in hand. Matriarchy is definitely coming back. That's for certain. Definitely, without a doubt. But while patriarchy's in control, you can't be attacking it, because you're going to screw everything up. But these women wanted to come and attack the oversoul, or the masculine principle of duality in our universe. These women were freaking crazy, so they want to eliminate all men off the planet. How these women are gonna reproduce with no man? These women are not serpents. They can't. These women that are on the planet Earth here with us right now, they're not serpentine women. They cannot utilize parthenogenesis. They can't have kids on their own if they want to. They can't. They need a man. So essentially, these women want to destroy the entire human race, alongside with the black race, the earthbound Anunnaki race. They want to eliminate everybody. This shit crazy, yo. This is why the Andromedans didn't allow that shit to happen. They screwed them over. Y'all understand what I'm saying here? I hope this stuff makes sense, what I'm saying. I hope y'all not confused and whatnot. You know? So attacking the masculine attribute, they don't even want you humans, I mean you Anunnaki, you so-called black people, they don't even want you guys to be able to have your masculine higher self come and turn you back into an immortal. They don't even want that to happen, as you can see. And this is why these people losing so much power, and now the dollar is about, the petrodollar is about to collapse, and they want to, you know, put it back by gold now, and you know, they don't want black people to be commodities and all that. They don't want to make black people their cattle anymore, and all this stuff is happening on the planet Earth. You see, I'm telling you, it's really the end of this bull crap. All right, these people are going to pay for all the crap that they've done on the planet. Okay, all right. They've practically lost almost all power at this point, and they're gonna definitely lose more with the up and coming days. And I'm telling you, the end is literally around the corner. So, you know, I'm gonna sign off or whatever. Hopefully you guys enjoyed the video. Hopefully it made sense. Comment, like, and subscribe. Let me know how you guys felt about the video. Email me, whatever. Text me if you got my number. And alright, it's your boy Sirius, and I'm out. Alright, guys. And alright, we're done. Sirius out.